In postmodern times, when the vision of connections and wholeness is a difficult task, this disbelief in life is mainly due to the current system, which seems to function on its own, like a machine made for capitalism to be globally implemented. However, from time to time, humanity takes a leap, capable of transforming us deeply. Space travel has always been in the dreams of children who have become adults. But everyday life, struggles, and everything else we know, has erased our effective memories, those capable of making us smile with our hearts, vibrating our entire being. The space industry has undergone a series of significant changes over the years, from the beginning of the space age to the present. In the beginning of the space race in the 1950s and 1960s, the main space agencies were government agencies, such as NASA in the United States and the Soviet Space Agency. These agencies were responsible for some of the greatest advancements in the history of space exploration, such as the launch of the first satellite, Sputnik, in 1957, and the first man to walk on the moon, Neil Armstrong, in 1969. Today, our conversation is about humanity's ability to build machines, specifically space rockets, in an attempt to colonize other planets. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to appreciate my hours of research and production by subscribing to the channel, liking and sharing the video. In the 1970s and 1980s, the space industry began to expand beyond government agencies with the creation of private satellite launch companies such as Arianespace and International Launch Services. However, these companies still relied on government contracts for most of their operations, and the industry as a whole remained government-dominated. In the 1990s, the space industry began to experience stagnation due to declining government budgets for space exploration and lack of significant innovation. Most space missions continued to be carried out by government agencies, and little private investment was directed towards the industry. Additionally, launch vehicles and habitat modules were expensive and inefficient, making it difficult for private companies to enter the market. The situation began to change in the first decade of the 21st century, with the creation of private space exploration companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic. These companies began to develop innovative technologies, such as reusable launch vehicles, and to favor lower prices for launches and access to space, which attracted more private investment and created greater competition in the market. This has been seen as a significant change in the space industry and has the potential to transform the way we access and explore space. These innovations have allowed private companies to begin developing ambitious projects, such as the colonization of Mars, commercial missions for space tourism, and the use of satellites for commercial applications such as internet access in remote areas. SpaceX, for example, has already demonstrated its ability to perform satellite launches and reuse its rockets, making access to space more accessible and efficient. In addition, the company has been working to develop a manned spacecraft, the Starship, with the goal of transporting humans and cargo to Mars and other destinations in the solar system. It is important to note that the space industry is highly regulated and still has many challenges to be overcome. Still, recent changes are promising and have the potential to transform the way we access and explore space. Tracking these developments is a unique opportunity to see the future of humanity develop and expand beyond Earth. The colonization of Mars is one of the ambitious projects that private space exploration companies, such as SpaceX, are currently working on. The founder and CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk, has publicly expressed
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. We got liftoff. please.
Signal suffer.
Colonizing Mars is a complex and challenging goal that requires overcoming many technical and scientific obstacles. However, with the entry of private companies and innovations, the colonization of Mars may become a reality in the near future. The goal of SpaceX is to colonize Mars and, in order to achieve this goal, it will face various difficulties, from rocket manufacturing to landing on the Martian surface. The first difficulty is the manufacturing of the rocket. SpaceX is developing the Starship, a fully reusable rocket that will be used to transport humans and cargo to Mars. The development of such a large rocket is highly complex and requires advanced technology and durable materials. Additionally, the company needs to ensure the safety of the astronauts throughout the flight. The second difficulty is takeoff. The Starship is a very large and heavy rocket, which makes takeoff very challenging. The equipment needs to ensure that the rocket has the ability to take off and reach high altitudes without problems. The third difficulty is the journey itself. A trip to Mars is very long and requires several months of travel. During this period, the astronauts need to cope with the lack of gravity, cosmic radiation, and adverse weather conditions. SpaceX needs to ensure that the astronauts have access to food, water, and other essential supplies during the journey. The fourth and final difficulty is landing. Landing on Mars is highly challenging due to its thin atmosphere and the irregular terrain of the surface. The Starship needs to ensure the ability to land safely and accurately, without causing damage to the equipment or the astronauts. There are many difficulties in trying to land on Mars, including rocket manufacturing, takeoff, travel, and landing. The company needs to overcome these challenges in order to achieve its goals of colonizing the Red Planet. Imagine humanity succeeding in colonizing Mars. Our relationship with outer space would be completely different.
Coming up on 5 minutes, 45 seconds, we're down below 2 kilometers. We're preparing to light 3 Raptor engines to begin the flip sequence. It'll culminate with landing on the landing pad in Boca Chica.
Our possibilities as a human race would break our perception and ability to understand life as we know it. Imagine how many new experiences would be able to be lived. You can't even imagine the satisfaction I have when you stay till the end. Much peace. Until the next video.